Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, October 28th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol DJT. Another very nice move, and the overall trend remains very much so in the upwards direction. And now we have a good solid pattern here headed into Monday. So as I draw this pattern, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is a great discovery or special skill. I assure you a lot of people have drawn a pattern very, very similar to this, if not the exact same. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So top of the pattern right there as resistance. Then we have the bottom of the channel, or excuse me, the bottom of the pattern right there. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then just to keep it all one color, help easier to see, resistance, support, big move up right there. For you golfers out there, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But is it reasonable? Is it logical to think that the price, if it comes up here and pushes through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible conclusion. So if you like bull pennant patterns, you like stocks that can move very quickly like DJT can, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol ITRM. And here we have a situation where nice little pattern has formed. Big surge up, price pulled back. And when the price starts to get around this area, it becomes a very valid question to say, uh-oh, was that just a gap and trap? Is this some sort of pump and dump? Is this thing going to be headed right back to where it was? And we got our answer, no. It leveled off and it started to work its way back upwards, which does not guarantee that it'll continue to go up, but it just becomes a whole lot more plausible to say and suggest that the price may be getting ready to head back up. Case in point, let's just say that the price was still just doing something like this, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like the price is bottomed out and might be wanting to head back up. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping straight down. But that's not the case here. It's headed back up and now is giving us a very well-defined potential breakout point. You can see this top part of the channel that's essentially the price has struggled with all afternoon right there around the $1.95 mark. So keep an eye on $1.95 as that main area of resistance. Like I said, you can see right there, price got up there several times, could never quite push through it. And then in regards to areas of support, you can get a nice little trend line drawn into play right there. So keep an eye on that if there is any sort of pullback back in the downwards direction. And just from a pattern standpoint, early stages of what would be an ascending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. So we'll see if this thing can do one of these next week. Next one here, ARBB, and very similar to the one I just talked about. So very quickly, big move up, price came down, and then right there is where you start to ask that question, uh-oh, is this a pump and dump? Is this just headed right back to where it started? And nope, leveled off, started to head back up, and then everything else is pretty much the same. Very well-defined breakout point now where you can see the price struggled this afternoon right up there around 78 cents. You can see, once right there, didn't quite hit it, and then a couple of times this afternoon directly at that level. So keep an eye on that as a main area of resistance. And then as far as supports are concerned, you have a nice trend line right there. So I'm assuming this is all kind of looking very familiar to the one we just looked at. So yes, once again, we have ourselves another ascending triangle here. I'd say probably the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if you prefer to stay down in the world of penny stocks and you like ascending triangles, here you go. Next one here, ticker symbol NIO. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched previous videos, but if you did, then hopefully remember me talking about this falling wedge pattern, which I mapped out there. It is a bullish pattern, and you can see today, absolutely beautiful example. So actually, first attempt was rejected at the top of the pattern, but that second attempt broke through it, and kaboom, there the price went. Granted, the price did pull back, but that's just still giving us a bullish pattern. But overall, the falling wedge pattern has led to a breakout. And now we'll look at things a little bit nearer. But in terms of levels of resistance moving forward, key battleground now to watch very closely will be right up there at $5.35. You can see back here the price rejected it. So no coincidence at all that the price once again got rejected at that level. That's not to say that that level can never be broken. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price got rejected at that area. And then from a pattern standpoint, yes, the price did indeed pull back here. You can't deny that. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, part of that is saying, yeah, well, fair enough, the price pulled back, but what happened before the pullback? And you'd say, well, the price was there and it skyrocketed all the way up there, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So however you want to look at it, falling wedge pattern has been broken. And then from there, the falling wedge breakout has now led to a bull flag pattern with a key battleground, key area of resistance right there at 535. But anyway, look at it. Nice way to close out the week for NIO. Next one here, NVDA. Talked about this in yesterday's video, and that's where these annotations were mapped out. And like I just talked about with NIO, had a nice pattern here. You can see opening 30 minutes, price came up here, broke through the top part of that pattern, and a huge breakout. Granted, pulled back quite a bit, but from the grand scheme of things, it is still building higher lows. And to illustrate that, let me just extend this trend line here that I drew. And you can see that actually the trend line did a very, very impressive job of forecasting where that bounce point would be. So again, the power of charts, the power of trend lines, good example there. So moving forward, continue to watch that trend line there, and as long as the price can stay above there, that would certainly be the ideal situation and make the chart look the strongest moving forward. And then in terms of areas of resistance, key level now that's been revealed right up here around 144.15. You can see through the history of things, rejected the price, never quite hit it exactly, but within the general vicinity, rejected. Of course, you had the little fake breakout right there, and then once again, right there was rejected. So yeah, going into next week, 144.15, public enemy number one. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ELAB, and this is a very ugly looking chart, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly, and the opportunity is started to already kind of reveal itself because the price has come down here, and this, yeah, very, very ugly. But then it approached these two moving averages, purple line being the 50-period moving average, pink line being the 200-period moving average. Both these lines very close to one another, and what do you know? What a coincidence, right where the price actually started to go sideways and is even now starting to head back up was right at those moving averages, which lead to a valid question. Is this the start of something bigger? Is this sideways action and slight upwards movement a sign that there's going to be more bullish momentum next week? No, maybe not. That's why risk management matters. But is it valid? Is it a plausible question to ask? Absolutely. Again, going back to the example, if the price was still just doing something like this, and I'm sitting here saying, oh, it's looking like it's showing some strength and it's bottoming out, you would be totally justified to call me crazy, but it actually has bottomed out. It's gone sideways. It actually does have a little bit of an upwards angle to it. So again, there are no guarantees. Doesn't mean it's going to explode upwards, but it certainly becomes very valid to at least throw out the question, is there some opportunity here? Is this thing getting ready to get another surge of momentum back to the upside? Next one here, TSLA Tesla. I called for a pullback on this one today, and I was kind of right in a way. So I wasn't blatantly wrong, but I wasn't blatantly right because the price did gap down. So there was the pullback right there, which happened pre-market. But in the same sense, that didn't last very long at all because that opening 30 minutes just straight back up it went. So like I said, we'll call it a wash on that one and map things out here now moving forward. And this is an area where, again, Tesla, very, very popular stock, very, very watch stock. So you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching that 269.70-ish area because rejected, basically rejected, and the price is approaching it right there. So when a lot of people are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, as I've already mentioned, call that a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements, especially on a stock like Tesla, where you know there's a lot of eyeballs watching it. So it doesn't guarantee anything still, but it does bring about that much more credibility to the whole argument of those self-fulfilling prophecies. So keep an eye on that as that main breakout point. And then in terms of areas of support, ideally in terms of, hey, Clay, what makes this chart look the strongest? That would be if the price can stay up there above the 260.65 mark. But from the overarching standpoint, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, as long as the price stays above that purple line, That's what matters most. 50 period moving average, keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, this line's way down here, but as next week plays out, that line will move itself higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line that's drawing itself for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote uptrending trend line, then the bulls are in full health. So all things considered, very impressive movement today, and we'll see if the price can get the breakout through that level or not next week. Next one here, IBRX, and a pretty unfortunate late day here. I'm not going to say that the entire chart's ruined, because it's not. You still have moving averages, and let me just get this trend line in play. There's also still this overarching trend line right here that has not been violated. So however you want to look at kind of the overall move for the past few days, like I said, trend line there, you have an upsloping 50 period moving average. So like I said, you know those from a big picture standpoint still illustrate the bulls do still have an opportunity to build a higher base. With all that being said, I do understand that if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart is a train wreck. So I'm trying to kind of talk about things from a couple different angles, but assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the pullback here, the bulls do still have the opportunity to build a higher base. And from a big picture trend building standpoint, that's what it's all about, just building those higher lows. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground, at least in the near term, if this thing tries to turn around, seems to be some stubbornness has shown up right there around $6.10, so keep an eye on that. And then, yeah, you have some other areas, of course, the high right there, and another area right there around the 650 mark. But one hurdle at a time. Let's just first see if the price can even break up above that area of resistance right there. So yeah, pretty brutal pullback, but again, to be fair, from the big picture standpoint, the price does still have a chance to build a higher base. Next one, AMD, one of those very popular stocks that a lot of people are watching, so it just brings about that whole idea of those self-fulfilling prophecies, make it that much more credible. So we have this pattern here that, again, not trying to impress you, I think a lot of people have drawn this pattern, so got to think that the self-fulfilling prophecy angle is alive and well on this one. So let me just map things out here. So we have the resistance right there, we have the support right there, the price was down here, it has now exploded all the way up here. Put the golf hole down here, so we have a multi-day bull pennant pattern. So very well-defined bull pennant on a very popular stock. Definitely doesn't guarantee anything, but certainly could produce and lead to some very, very quality movements here next week. So if you like options, or if you like this price range of stocks, and you like very popular stocks and bull pennants, then look no further than AMD. Next one here, TQQQ. I'm going to go through this very, very quickly because I want to respect your time, and it's basically what I just talked about with AMD. So let's just, there's our, now it's not the exact same pattern, but the overall idea is the same. So let's get our support put into play. And then just because I can't help myself, let's make it the same color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upward move right there. Golf hole down there. You could call this a bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to talk, or whatever you want to call it, but the psychology is the same. There was a big move up. Now there's a bit of a pullback, so it's just a question of, is this pullback healthy, and will this pullback lead to a bullish breakout next week? We'll have to see what happens. But once again, if you like these sorts of bull patterns with the pennants and flags, then keep an eye on TQQQ, because as always, this one gets a whole lot of volume every day. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, then again, the class will be next week, Thursday, October 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely go get signed up. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that is because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So in order for this video and analysis to remain relevant all weekend long, I want to look at a longer time frame and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, like I said, that'll keep this analysis relevant. So let's just assume you're watching this video sometime Sunday afternoon. So the big dynamic, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level and I'll show you why. But the big question, the first question that I would say you should ask yourself is, where's the price at relative to that level right there? We'll call it 65,500. So that's question number one. Where is the price at relative to 65,500? If you're saying the price is down below there, then I'm not saying, to panic or, freak out. But the next immediate question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to the pink line there? That very important 200 period moving average right now valued at 64,500. If you're answering the question that the price is also down below 64,500, that's telling you right now that the bears are having themselves a very, very good weekend. And then, of course, common sense will take you far. If you're saying the price is way down here or way down there, the further down below that pink line, the worse it is for the bulls and the better it is for the bears. Now, on the flip side, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is up above that level, well, in that sense, any answer at all where the price is above 65,600, that's good. Because even if the price is down around here, at least it's still maintaining that trend line. At least it's still above the overarching moving average. So while things might not be the most exciting, at least they're still healthy from a bigger picture standpoint, because the price is still above those upper areas of the trend. And then, again, common sense will take you far. If you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is up around here, or, who knows, if you're answering the question that the price is up above 69,400, that's telling you that Bitcoin is having an absolutely fantastic and very bullish weekend. So keep your eyes on those levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep the Bitcoin analysis relevant all weekend long. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free class, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto too. So like I said earlier, it'll be next week, Thursday, October 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely go get signed up. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. A totally easy way to support the channel, totally free. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it really helps out and goes a long way. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class and have a great weekend.